This is a nice example of an SS collar tab. This would be an unissued example. There were many of these Bevo styled collar tabs, which Bevo was an abbreviation for some companies that manufactured a certain style of cloth insignia that used not a cotton material, but mainly this rayon, as they call it, material, which I'll show you on the reverse, is a synthetic material, and these were made using a machine versus hand embroidered. So a lot of the German cloth and insignia stuff was handmade, and that's synonymous with the German quality, but at a certain point with the volume of material that needed to be manufactured and textiles and insignias, there was a call for more efficient processes. So this rayon and Bevo machine produced material was necessary. You can see the reverse here with that synthetic rayon material, a little more obvious. It's got that shiny appearance on it, as well as the buckram, the back material, this hardened, kind of like a stiff, thick cloth material used to strengthen cloth and whatnot. You'll also find oftentimes it'll appear to have a glue or some sort of stiffening agent on it, and that's really to just keep these things, keep their shape, as the SS uniform was to maintain a certain level of proper appearance. And if you were to just throw on some cloth, sig runes onto the end of your collar there, after a couple washes, it wouldn't appear as nice as these hardened backed collar tabs. So you have these threads used here, but there were a variety of different materials used in these collar tabs. As I mentioned before, some were handmade, some had the different type of threading and the aluminum threading to it. Some would have a border around it, depending on who wore the collar tab. This would be a Bevo style for something like an NCO position. So these are hard to get. Although the Dachau concentration camp where these were manufactured, as it was liberated, a ton of these got out there. So these are a little less hard to get. But there's a demand for these types of things, and a lot of people prefer the ones that have been worn and torn off of uniforms. So perhaps I should say those are harder to get and maybe a little more expensive. But the Bevo style is probably the more common one that appears. So a nice example of a SS collar tab, Bevo style NCO, unissued. Hope you enjoyed it.